What would you do if you found $20 million and no one else knew? In The Rip, a police unit answers that question in the worst possible way. A secret informant is murdered, a stash house explodes into chaos, and trust inside the team completely collapses. By sunrise, friendships are destroyed, loyalties are exposed, and only one thing is certain: the money doesn't change people, it reveals them. The story starts in the middle of a storm as a shaken informant whispers into a burner phone. She says she's being watched. Captain Jackie Velez tries to calm her, telling her she did the right thing and reminding her she has the address and knows exactly where to go. The woman panics, convinced the call is being tracked. Captain Jackie assures her the phone is clean, but fear overwhelms the caller, who believes the people she betrayed already know everything. Jackie orders her to keep answering the phone. Thunder cracks overhead as the woman sobs, begging to be pulled out immediately. Jackie promises protection and warns her not to trust anyone else. And when the call suddenly cuts off, it feels less like bad reception and more like an execution. Minutes later, the storm hides something violent. Captain Jackie Velez is brutally murdered. Detective Dane Dumars, the unit's hard-nosed leader, is angry, grieving, and absolutely not okay. Dane wasn't just his boss, she was his protector, and possibly something more. Dane claims Jackie was chasing something big, something dangerous. He says federal pressure has turned cops into cannibals. Everyone's eating each other just to survive. Inside an interrogation room, Dell, a smug federal agent, is sitting across Detective Rowe, the team's steady moral center and Jackie's closest ally. Rowe says she wasn't just a colleague, she was his protector. He snaps at the agent for calling it a death, insisting it was a murder. The feds push hard, reminding them that tactical narcotics teams handles drugs and money. They ask the question no one wants to answer. Then the accusation drops. What if Jackie was killed by another cop? Byrne explodes, too fast, too loud. He accuses the feds of smearing good officers. When asked if anyone inside TNT could be dirty, he calls the investigation a setup.
The Fed lists everyone interviewed, mentioning the commander who recently took a promotion. Byrne defends him, mocking leadership that dismantled the agency. Byrne argues shutting them down crippled the investigation. He asks for overtime and is denied. The interrogator asks if Byrne and Velez were lovers. Byrne stares silently. The agent mocks his silence, and Byrne responds with an insult. When the agent laughs, Byrne warns him to tread carefully if he truly believes Jackie was dirty. The Fed points out Byrne's second shoulder holster, joking about who the extra gun belongs to. Byrne snaps and lunges across the table. They crash into each other as agents rush in. Someone reveals the two men are brothers. Byrne shouts that his brother is a bully as he's dragged out. Outside, a colleague asks how it went. Byrne mutters that his brother joined the feds just to talk down to him. Byrne admits privately he hates his life as a cop, haunted by sleepless nights and memories of Jackie's spiritual beliefs. They drink in the parking lot, joking about fighting his brother. DEA agents suddenly roll in with an armored vehicle. Byrne mocks the display, while Agent Dio mocks the unit's corruption. He warns the pressure won't stop until the cop killer is found. Detective Dane interrupts, claiming a fresh tip about money in Hialeah and urging an unsanctioned raid for extra credit. Byrne joins the convoy, questioning why locals are bypassed. Dane snaps back, calling the target a simple doper. The house looks ordinary, but the dog loses control the moment they arrive. Not drugs, but money. A lot of it. Dane lies about a Crime Stoppers tip to gain entry. The woman inside, Desi, hesitates. She insists there are no drugs. She knows her rights, but under pressure, the team pushes in. Desi swears on her love that she knows nothing. Dane cites her terrified reaction to the money-sniffing dog and mentions the Colombian flag as a suspicious indicator. Desi mocks him for being small-minded and stereotypical. Desi argues the house is not legally hers yet. Desi asks if God will pay her overdue bills, questioning if good intentions can be traded for cash. Upstairs, the attic seems suspiciously clean. A hollow wall gives it away. They break it open, and everyone freezes. One bucket alone holds over $1 million. There are 14 of them. They've just stumbled onto a $20 million rip, and no one is supposed to know.
Dane snaps, orders everyone to surrender their phones. Baptiste bristles, asks if the boss doesn't trust them. He insists this much money changes people. Byrne tries to talk him down. Dane shuts him off, says he's not panicking, he's surviving. The original tip was for $300K. Now they've found millions, and that makes them a target. Dane orders Mike to move the cash into the garage, as drywall doesn't stop bullets. Mike begs to move it somewhere else, break protocol, and count later. He forces everyone to count inside the house, refusing to call the DEA or command. Jackie had warned him about a massive rip crew. Dane demands they close ranks immediately. He denies Salazar a call home and forbids Byrne from calling his federal agent brother. Desi tells them to take the cash and run. Suddenly, Mike spots a black and white cruiser approaching. The team lies low. Patrolman questions the unmarked cars. Mike says tactical unit. The cop asks why nobody gave them a heads up. Inside, the counting begins. Desi admits strangers used her house for storage. Mike heads outside to keep a lookout, while Dane organizes a system to tally cash. He establishes a plan to process unlabeled boxes, instructing them to ignore the labeled containers to fasten the counting. She admits strangers used the house for storage, claiming she was told to accept the theft because the cartel expects to take some losses. Dane finds a file revealing her son's identity and discovers a hidden report marking her as an informant. A threatening call comes in, warning them to take specific money and leave within 30 minutes. Desi begs them to run. Brian focuses on a discrepancy. Caller mentioned a much smaller number than Dane claimed. Brian accuses Dane of holding back critical information and demands to see the physical Crime Stoppers report. He confronts Dane and threatens to quit. Salazar flips through stacks of cartel cash, joking with Baptiste about getting a cartel loan. She laments her low salary despite so much danger, and Baptiste notes that she has considered this deeply. Salazar admits taking a portion would fix her life, just before Dio orders them to wrap it up. Brian realizes the tip was fake, as Dane can't produce report for the tip. He deflects questions. He pushes the count forward. Dane realizes the betrayal and storms out angrily. Brian declares he will handle Dane by himself. Brian whispers to Agent Maddie that the heist is happening, while Mike assures a terrified Desi that help is coming. Confused by zip ties on the door, Baptiste ties zip tie on the door and secure the counting room, while Salazar confirms they have established a counting system, estimating the total is nearly $20 million.
The tension finally snaps when Baptiste breaks the silence, revealing a threat. An anonymous caller has given them 10 minutes to leave, realizing 5 minutes have already gone. Dane demands an update on the count, his voice tightening with panic, but Baptiste cuts him off, insisting they won't survive unless they leave immediately. Confusion spreads as the team suddenly notices Brian is missing, and when Mike returns from upstairs, he reports finding nothing. Dane orders everyone to keep their flashlights low, creating a moment of suffocating darkness before the chaos. Suddenly, Wilbur begins barking wildly in the dark, and a barrage of bullets rips through the walls. Salazar screams as she's hit, and the room erupts into chaos as the team fires blindly through shattered windows, with Numa dragging the wounded officer to cover. Desi panics, screaming to be freed of the death trap, while Mike realizes the escape vehicles outside have already been destroyed. Dane turns on Desi coldly, barking that she stays silent unless she's been shot. Salazar breaks down, screaming for her missing dog, Wilbur, her voice cutting through the gunfire. Baptiste yells to stay calm as bullets continue ripping through the house, forcing everyone to dive for cover under relentless fire. With the darkness closing in, Baptiste finally uncuffs Desi just to use her phone as a flickering light, while shouts in Spanish echo from beyond the perimeter, and after a brutal exchange of gunfire. Suddenly, Byrne bursts into the room, dragging a captured man behind him, shouting for everyone to stop firing immediately. He explains the man is nothing more than a cartel lookout, proof that the attackers outside aren't actually cartel soldiers. To back it up, Byrne forces the man to video call his boss. The cartel leader appears on the screen, speaking down to them coldly as the team waits in tense silence. When the call ends, Byrne translates the message, and it hits hard. The cartel is walking away from the stash house and the money because killing police officers simply isn't worth the cost of doing business. With the cartel backing off, the reality sinks in that the $20 million is now effectively ownerless. Dane wastes no time suggesting they take it for themselves. He pushes the idea aggressively, pressuring the others to commit, but Byrne immediately challenges him, asking whether the major has been informed. Dane claims he already made the call, but Byrne doesn't buy it and calls his bluff on the spot. He accuses Dane of fabricating the entire investigation report, deliberately luring them here to steal the money. Dane fires back, accusing Byrne of corruption, pointing to his disappearance and sudden return with a cartel lookout. Byrne then delivers the crushing blow, revealing the cartel believes Jackie was killed by a cop. Byrne locks eyes with Dane, accusing him of murdering her and declaring that he's no longer a real police officer. He calls Dane a cop killer and launches at him. Salazar and Baptiste scream for them to stop as the two men crash to the floor, grunting and grappling while the rest of the team watches in shock. Baptiste finally forces them apart, and Mike shouts for everyone to stand down. Byrne hurls venomous curses at Dane, while Baptiste orders Byrne to leave immediately. Dane regains control, ordering the team to finish counting the money and instructing Salazar to keep a close watch on Desi, clarifying this is not an official arrest. Baptiste tries to calm Desi, promising it will be over soon, but Desi breaks down, tearfully asking if they're all going to die. She pleads for help from the only person she thinks is still good, and Roe turns away, weighed down by the moment. Minutes later, Byrne steps aside to catch his breath when his phone buzzes with a secret call. He warns Maddie that Dane has gone completely rogue. Maddie confirms her team is already on the way. Nearby, Mike quietly tells Desi about a burner phone and asks if she can reach the cartel. Moments later, Dane announces the cash has been fully bagged. Baptiste is slipped a secret number for the plan, and Salazar confirms she also has what's needed. Dane orders everyone to ignore a ringing phone, but as Salazar asks how they're supposed to move the heavy bags, they notice flames spreading through the house. Dumas shouts for everyone to grab the money and evacuate as an armored Lenco pulls up outside. Desi screams in despair as her home burns, while Dane orders the cash loaded into the vehicle. He tells Baptiste to stay outside with Desi, shutting down her protests, while Byrne refuses to be sidelined, insisting he's still in charge. Desi demands to know if Dane is taking everything as she mourns her grandmother's home going up in flames. The team drives off as sirens close in, riding in heavy silence through the dark streets. Dane stares out the window, expression cold and unreadable. Inside the Lenco, he checks his weapon, chambering around. Mike shifts nervously and asks where they're headed. When Mike tries calling the major, Dane mocks him for questioning the money total. He asks Mike if he's a snitch, revealing he's not internal affairs. Dane admits he gave everyone different totals to test loyalty, then recalls the exact number he gave Mike, making him the only one who leaked it.
Dane accuses Mike of using a burner phone, producing the device Mike dropped during the fight, and forces the phone open using Mike's face. Inside the vehicle, Maddie accuses Dane of starting the house fire. Maddie fires back, claiming Dane only wanted the money, admitting he's been lying to everyone all night and only recently stopped. Dane then confesses the anonymous tip was fake and reveals Jackie sent him a message before she died, admitting he orchestrated everything to lure the killer out to the stash. As Dane exposes Mike as an informant for thieves, Byrne notices police radios have gone dead. Maddie claims he couldn't secure backup, and Byrne questions why Maddie sent Dio home earlier. Maddie insists it was a loyalty test, but Byrne connects him to corrupt Hialeah cops. As Dane interrogates Mike about who else is moving money, Byrne grabs the burner phone and hits redial. The room goes silent as a phone buzzes nearby. It's Maddie. Maddie draws his weapon, screaming that they finally exposed the truth and ordering everyone not to do anything stupid. He rants about having more money than they could ever spend, fantasizing about living like kings. Byrne asks if Maddie murdered Jackie, and Mike screams that Maddie finished her off. As the accusations pile on, Byrne's own phone rings. He answers on speaker, confirming their location before revealing he's a federal agent and ordering everyone out of the vehicle immediately. Maddie still tries to negotiate, pitching a heroic cover story and suggesting they return the money to look like heroes. Before anyone can respond, chaos erupts. Maddie shouts for everyone to drop as machine gun fire explodes outside and tires screech. Mike gets dragged into a brutal fistfight. Agent Byrne bags the evidence, cuffs Maddie tightly, and leads him away as police finally arrive to process the massive seizure. Paperwork is signed. Salazar confirms the final count, over $20 million, matched by Baptiste and Dumars in writing. As morning breaks, federal agents praise the rip. The brothers reconcile. Desi receives her legal cut, and the team credits Jackie's spirit for guiding them. As the sun rises, a child cheers, and a woman calls out the name Jackie. The girl answers, and the story ends.